Hello and welcome to my walkthrough video of my dogfights. I'm going to show you one of my sorties so you can see exactly what I saw, and I'll explain what I was thinking, the moves I pull, and why I pull them. The goal of this video is to help you improve your skills at dogfighting. Just to make things clear before we get started though, I want to point out that I am not a trainer, nor do I claim to be an elite pilot. I do have a basic understanding of ACM and the different styles of fighting, and I think those are things most people don't quite understand yet. Hopefully this video will help you see where you're making mistakes in your fights, and you can improve on it. Let's get to it now. So here's the first fight of a sortie. A KA-61 co-out with me at 11k. I have decent speed, and I know my G2 can outclimb a KA-61, so I plan to go vertical on the merge. The KI doesn't appear to see me though, so I get to start this fight on at 6 o'clock. Now the KI sees me and he goes vertical. Unfortunately for me, he's faster than I thought and I won't catch him stalling out at the top of his loop, but I can see that I can still keep up with him in his climb. I follow him in a lag pursuit instead of a pure lead pursuit because I know he will get his nose around in time to shoot me. My plan is to use his speed he gains in a dive against him. I just wait until he starts his dive, and now I pull up into him and he's going too fast to pull lead. I roll over into him and drop 2 notches of flaps to help me get inside his turn and line up a shot. The KI makes a mistake and turns away from me, letting me onto his 6. Now all I have to worry about is the KI killing my friendly before I can kill him. I take my shot, I get some hits, but it's not enough to kill him. Now the KI knows he's in trouble and tries to outturn me. I pull my throttle back to bleed my E and keep with him in his turn. I'm not really sure how he loses his wings here. I think he pulled too hard on his stick, pulling too many G's and just ripped his own wings off. But that's kill number 1 for this sortie. Here's the second engagement of the sortie, and the fight where things go horribly wrong for me. We've got a low 51, co-out 109, and 2 low spits. I take my time here to look around for any other enemy fighters and try to determine which of these guys is the biggest threat. I don't want to dive straight at them just yet from this position because that'll put my attack run on their 3 o'clock. You don't want to do that because it'll make their job of avoiding you a lot easier. You always want to attack from their 6 o'clock. The 51 appears to be heading back to his base, so he's of no threat to me right now. The Spitfire is extending away from the fight, probably looking to gain some altitude. He seems to know what he's doing, so he's a bigger threat. Mark IV is dragging a Spitfire in 109, but I know there are several friendlies just beyond icon range in that direction who are in a better position to help him. So I'm going to take the low Spitfire extending from the fight. I dive on his 6, but I'm not looking to get a shot since I know he's been watching me and he will maneuver to avoid me. I just want to stop him from gaining any advantages. Just as I suspected, he turns into me and avoids my shot. I use my E advantage here to climb up above him to set up for another pass when I notice that the 109 is coming back for me. I must turn into him to avoid his shot. I position myself so he has to pull a lot of G's if he wants to take a shot. Then I go vertical again, seeing I will outclimb the 109 as well. The 109 is the bigger threat now. I know it will take the Spit a little time to climb up to me, so I have to kill the 109 quickly. I don't want to be forced down below 2 enemies. I want to keep my altitude advantage if I can on these 2. I roll into the 109 looking to line up a shot when I see the 51 is coming back to join the fight as well. I have a short window of opportunity to get a shot on the 109 before the 51 is on me. I pull lead, take my shot, and I miss. Okay, now I'm in trouble. I have to turn into the 51 to avoid his shot. He can't pull enough lead, but now the Spitfire is in on me. I turn into the Spit and start climbing, knowing that I can still just outclimb the Spitfire in 109. And I want to keep above them if I can, and at the same time I'm thinking of how I can kill the 51. I'm looking to get a shot on one of these 2 when I see the 51 times his attack perfectly. I use all my remaining E to turn into him, use my ailerons to level off, and kick hard right rudder to slide my plane out of his guns. I'm going to pause the video here because I want to point out exactly what's going on here. The 51 has overshot, and I know I have a few seconds until he gets turned around for another pass. The 109 I can see is in a turn, still trying to get up to me. I have a few seconds until he has a shot on me too. The Spit also doesn't have a shot on me, and I'm in a position where I can get inside his turn and possibly get a shot on him. It's not the best position, but I'll take anything I can get at this point. I drop on the spit using right rudder to cut inside his turn. I get a brief moment of lead, and I miss. That 109 will be in on me now, so I look for him, turn into him, and force the overshoot. Now I reverse my turn back into him. I know that the spit is in, but reversing my turn on the 109 will force the spit to overshoot as well. He does, and I turn back into the spit. I have the 109 in front of me here, but the spit is going to get on my 6 o'clock. He's the bigger threat. Spit makes a good run, and I can see that he will get a shot on me, so I kick hard right rudder and nose up into him to give him as hard a shot as possible. I get greedy and try for a shot on him as he overshoots, but I can't get enough lead. Now I nose down and use more right rudder to avoid the 109 shot. I take a few hits, but nothing critical. The 51 is making a pass now, so I dive below him to avoid his shot. Now I'm in big trouble as his spit is getting behind me. I make a small snap roll and then immediately pull back into him to force an overshoot. This will also force the 109 to overshoot as well. Quickly check on the 51 and roll back into the 109 and Spitfire. I pull up into them, denying them both a shot. The 51 makes a bad approach and has to pull off of his attack. Now in this position I can attack the 109 at the same time deny the Spitfire a shot. I pull lead on the 109 and I miss. Checking the spit now, and I will get one more shot on the 109. Keep an eye on the spit, line up my shot on the 109, and I miss again. I push full right rudder here to avoid most of the bullets, and luckily the 51 also misses. Look for the spit, I throttle back, nose up to force an overshoot. I will get a snapshot here, but I just can't get my nose up enough to get a clean shot on him. 109 isn't in position to make a run at me, so I try for a second shot at the Spitfire. But I can't make this climb, so I turn to pass under him, which denies him a clean shot at me. I'll pause the video here so I can go into a little more detail about what's going on. The Spitfire's behind me, but he won't be able to pull lead for a shot for a few more seconds. The 109 is making a pass at me from my 8 o'clock, and he does have a shot at me. I'll use those few seconds that the Spitfire can't shoot at me to avoid the 109, and then I'll deal with the Spitfire. I can continue a flat left turn to avoid the 109, but the Spitfire is better in a flat turn than I am, and he will outturn me, and then he will kill me. I can reverse my turn to keep the Spitfire from getting a shot at me, but then I expose my 6 o'clock to the 109 and give him an easy shot. I hate to make a move that will deny the 109 a clean shot and still put me in a good position to avoid the Spitfire when he comes around his turn. What I'll do is pull a well-timed tail slide. I'll turn into the 109 and nose up, so he has to nose up as well to get a shot. This will bring me to a near stall, and then I will kick full right rudder and left aileron to perform a tail slide. The tail slide will nose me down to avoid the 109, and the torque of the engine will help reverse my turn into the Spitfire, denying him a shot. Let's see how this works out for me. So, I turn into the 109, nose up, wait for the right moment, hard right rudder, left aileron. The 109 misses, and the Spitfire cannot pull lead for a shot. I level off to keep from crashing into the earth, and I pull into the Spitfire. I nose up and let him pass under me for an overshoot, and lucky me, the 109 augers. Now I'm in perfect position to deal with the Spitfire. I line up my shot, and I miss, and I miss, and I miss. I really need to learn how to shoot. I turn with the Spitfire, I want to stay in his flight path, and I'm not really sure what he was doing here. Maybe he ran out of fuel and he was going for the ditch. If you are Spitty, then sorry for shooting you here, I could not afford to overshoot. And I have a lapse in situation awareness watching the Spitty, and a Nicky gets me. Well, that's what happens when you don't pay attention to your surroundings. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you noticed something that you can improve on now and become an even deadlier pilot. If you want to learn more and you like this video, then I'll be sure to make more of them. I have a few more projects I'm going to try and get started on now as well. You should also check out Voodoo15's YouTube channel. He has a lot of really awesome gameplay and training videos that you can learn from as well. If you can get a session with one of the trainers, then that's the best way to learn how to fight. Those guys know more about flying than the entire community combined. Again, I hope this is helpful to some of you. If not, then unfortunately this is the best I can do. And I'll see you all in game.